Good morning. It's Tuesday, 6:13. I should be asleep before the sun comes up because I won't be able to, so I hope I can make this fast. I can't sleep because I checked my email. Mohela, student loan person, entity, whatever, debt collectors are still trying to get about $900 from me in about 3 weeks. I don't have the money. I don't have any money. My interest every time I log in, every few days, goes up $1,000 to $2,000 more every couple days. This is unsustainable. This is going to go into the millions before the end of the year if it keeps going on like that. Or at least next year, the end of next year maybe. I can't handle this. I am being distracted by having to... I've refilled out the repay forms and I think they're already processing some of the other ones, but there's just a big mess. Somebody on Reddit had the federal loan forgiveness or public service loan forgiveness or something, and they had filled out the repay, I think, for the income-driven repayments, and it used to be like 300 something a month, and they filled out some forms to adjust to a better plan or whatever, and then it went up to like double, and then they called customer service, waited on hold for 3 hours, talked to somebody that said that their application was done incorrectly, and then they said they were going to put in a help ticket, and it went up to, was it $1,300 or $1,600 a month after they talked to a customer service person and a supervisor. And now they're concerned about their federal loan payment, and I don't know if it's this person or another person had contacted Ombudsman at Student Aid who said, oh, you need to pay whatever they're asking. I think it was a second person, a different person that was paying way more, being charged way more like me. And if I had the money, I'd pay it, but I feel like it'll just dissipate in the air. Like, I'd be better. Like, everything is not being recorded. I can't access my tax records. Mohela is saying I paid $0 for my taxes, and I don't have, I hope I have records. Navient, Great Lakes is what I had before, then it switched to this one. Navient sold my loan, or it's gone from there. Great Lakes is inaccessible, and it says you have to log in through Nelnet. Nelnet is not letting me in because my dad had borrowed money in 1994 and paid that off, and it keeps saying we need to email or text your phone for you to access your Great Lakes records that I had for 10 something years, in order to, it's probably like 15 years, we need your email address. Is your email address and your phone number incorrect to our system? You cannot apply. I tried to reapply with my social security and birthday, and it won't let me, and I just realized on studentaid.gov or whatever that, yeah, I saw something from 94 that completed in 06. So I can't access it, and I emailed them last week. So I've been like crying this morning. I can't go back to sleep. This is an absolute nightmare. I hate debt. I hate college. I hate it with a passion. I hate my business, the way that I'm not getting paid. I have so many unpaid bills from insurance and customers, and because I'm poor, I don't know how to go about doing debt collection, and it's really, really uncomfortable, to say the least, that I'm not able to, that people just basically stole from me. And I'm in this situation that if I was getting paid what I asked, I wouldn't be owing, $423,000. A month or so ago it was $419,000, and I was belly aching about that, and it's gone up in a few weeks to $3,000 more dollars. At 7 Central Time, the Mohela phone number will open up. People I know of are going from either an hour or 100 minutes to 3 hours wait time. So I'm pretty concerned about that. I'm going to be tossing and turning. I got to redo my taxes. I got to redo more than one taxes, but I have one that I have to urgently do because I'm supposed to get paid a check to go towards my student loan. And I'm actually kind of glad I didn't get it, because I would have given it to someone that I would have no access. You need to have a receipt of payment. And they're switching these loans around and they're not giving you access. Like, what kind of financial institution or online account where they just shut off your access? You cannot get any of your documents. And it's like, by the grace of whatever, I may or may not have downloaded stuff, printed stuff. This is a big cluttering mess. People say, why are you downloading things? Why are you printing stuff? Why do you have all these papers everywhere? And it's like, because stuff like this happens. And then I'm kicking myself that I only, printed a couple things. Oh, well, I paid this bill in 2020 and I haven't touched it since, until the early 2020, late 22 or early 23. Like, so there's 2 years of stuff that I maybe not even looked at, or only downloaded stuff during tax season. Like, God, I hope, because you don't need to download or print stuff for your taxes if you do online. I don't think you can look at the website and say, oh, I paid $4,000, I paid $40 this year, and you put that on your taxes. You don't need to have this paper. They don't mail it to you, so it's like you almost want to turn on the mail, because they're making it like you log in last 2 months ago and now you go to log in. Oh, I'm sorry, you can't access this account. It doesn't exist. That is decades of records, of payments, of interest fees, of interest rates. That's decades of detailed information with the dates, the loan numbers, all these things. I have tried to make handwritten charts of debt snowballing off certain debts. So I can't depend on these programs. I have got it screwed over by these people, by the college that I went to, by just doubling their tuition and fees. And it's like you're halfway through a program, so it's like, should I walk away with, I don't know, $75,000, $80,000 of debt? Or should I continue the program and make it, what was it, 180, yeah, I guess you walk away, because it would end up being 220. That sounds like a lot. 220 total, because I had to redo undergrad. They told me to redo undergrad. It wasn't necessary, guys. It is absolutely not necessary. I keep justifying it as, yeah, it helped me sit back in school, sit still, learn how to make friends, study, but anything that I redid, could you imagine doing pre-med and then doing pre-med again and then going to med school, and it didn't do anything? Basic biology, I don't think, did I read? Yeah, I redid chemistry. I redid a year of biology. I redid a whole year of chemistry and labs for all that. I only needed like 1 physics class or 2 physics. I think I know I took 2. So maybe 2 physics classes, psychology, and a year of OChem. That was all I needed to fulfill the requirements. Because I redid like writing 1 or 201 or whatever writing class. Statistics was suggested but not required. So I only needed 1, 2, 3 chem class with plus lab, 2 physics classes, and um, so I've been, I would say like a year in psychology. I'm trying to think. I don't think I needed anything else. I already had the biology. I already had the chemistry. I had a bunch of zoology. I had a bunch of, I think I had sociology type classes. Anyways, it sucked. That was 40 grand. Again, every time I log in, it says first disbursement 5,600 or so, $5,000 or $8,000. Yeah, it was like 8,000 something, and it says payoff, consolidation payoff amount 56,000. I was like, there's no way that's one loan. It had to have been the whole loan from Portland State when it wasn't a direct loan. So I have a nightmare. I'm emailing and filling out forms. I'm not hearing anything back from anybody. My phone keeps ringing, and I'm wondering if it's actually a doctor's office. I'll call that number back, like *67. But if the ombudsman is telling people to just pay it, I know these people are saying that make plenty of money. They're saying, oh, $800, just pay it. And you hear people saying, I listened to this, was it This Is Monsters yesterday, and the guy had alimony, was it $6,000 a month? And it said he was making $13,000 a month. And they said, well, first they're like, oh, that he said that was too much money. I was like, that's just basically half. That's a lot of alimony. But then the This Is Monsters, Giles says that there was 30-something thousand a month of expenses. So that's the ticket too. You know, it's like, oh, that you could afford half your income. That's more income than you need. But it's like, but what are your expenses? What was your income in years past? So my God, you guys know that I did that CPR class, and thank God I found my wrist brace. When you do the compressions, it really hurts your wrist. Like, if you have a wrist injury, it really, injures it, and what sucks is they're grading you on it, pretty much, and they either watch, they have sensors on these mannequins, so that when you're doing that, the green light comes on. So I was just like, and the instructor's like, oh, well, you need to whatever, thrust down for more. And I was like, God, if I can't find the wrist brace, I was going to put tape on it. But my partner is saying, like, yeah, you had all these different things over the years where you just had to deal with it, all these different financial, nightmares. And it's one thing after another, and I see people going to work, and they look happy, and they look refreshed, and it's like you think of working 40 hours a week as being just exhausting, but it's like they look comfortable. They look like they can pay their bills and not be like, oh God, can I sell this? I literally do that. I'll be like, I'm gonna wash this and sell it because it doesn't have stains on it. If it did have stains on it, I'm gonna scrub them and I'm gonna disclose and show them where the light stains are at, or where I sewed it back together because it's fraying and falling apart. So that's the only thing I can think of, but I've never in my life earned $1,000 a month from my eBay store, my online sales. I haven't sold anything from other platforms. I've had stuff up on other platforms, including Etsy. We have a bigger place here, so some of the little knickknacks from my partner I wasn't going to sell, but then I decided to keep them up for sale or whatever, because we got to just clear stuff out. We don't have to have knickknacks on every little flat surface and every windowsill. What if we had the windowsills clean and we could just wipe them down? There's still dead bugs from last year. Some spider was eating all these gnats from our plants. I gotta wipe them down. Maybe that would be my one goal today. I'm gonna go Student loans suck. I told you guys that I went to school as a single mom, or before I was a single mom, I went back to school because my brother said I was missing one class to graduate from Michigan State University. That I should have graduated in 98. I did have a good enough grade to pass the class, but the teacher failed me anyway. And I'm heartbroken about that. I was homeless when I found that out. And it was a nightmare. My advisor was supposed to help set me up with a um, internship, and he said, "I don't like you. I'm not going to help you at all." Right to my face. And that was required to graduate. He was this white, red-headed, strawberry blonde, mean, racist jerk. And I believe he was in the College of Agriculture. When I was in the College of Ag, I was, as far as I could tell, I was the only black student. I was sitting in classes with these big guys that looked like farmers and stuff. Like, they looked like they were from out in the sticks, you know. I mean, I was from out in the sticks, but people don't know that when you're black. But it was like, years later, I was getting some alumni stuff, and they're like having like minority agriculture club or something. I don't even know what it was. I was like, yeah, that definitely wasn't there. Like, every single class, I was the only white or black person. And it's like hard when you have these people say, "I don't like you," and your doctor, and all these people were white. I've had black people say, "I don't like you." And what they do for their job as a service to either students or tenants or clients, what they do, patients, they're supposed to get paid to help us. Just like a wait staff would get paid to serve our food and to take our order and to do a decent job at it and get paid on top of that because of the decent job. These people all through my life said, "I don't like you. I'm not going to help you. You can't. You're a mess. You're terrible. You're never going to amount to anything." And every other student that comes in to that advisor, "Okay, here's the list of internships. Here you go. Let me help you with the application. I'm going to fill out a letter of recommendation." Because I didn't even know what an internship was. A. And B, this guy didn't like me. I was stupid. I was 21 or under. I didn't know what an internship was. I didn't know how to find that out. Now you can get on eBay, online on Google and type in internship near me. And you could potentially say, "Hey, there's a paid or not paid internship, 2 weeks doing kids camp at Chesapeake Bay, Center. Will this count for ag and natural resource communications?" Like, here's a year long in Bangladesh. Here's a 3-week program that I do, by helping some logging company build log cabins for, I don't know, underserved populations. You know what I mean? Like, you should be able to get a list of things, take that list to your advisor, say, "Will these count? What do I need? What do I need them to sign off for?" And then get those forms. Again, we had the internet back then, but I don't remember doing Google searches and all that stuff. It's like, I feel like you had to know which website to go to. Like phone numbers back then, you had to memorize phone numbers. Websites, you had to know what website to go to get to it. You couldn't just search. You could try to make something up, netscape.com or whatever. So I'm going to go back to sleep. Maybe I'm going to listen to something. My earbuds are all funky. When my earbuds get old, they'll turn themselves up. It's like there's a glitch or something where it thinks it's pushing buttons into my phone. It'll hang up phone calls. I got to put something on these earbuds saying, "Hey, these aren't working." They got stuck in the drawer yesterday. I was like, "Oh my God." And I was trying to pull them out without breaking them. I don't even know how that happened. I know how it happened. It's like the drawer got shut and a piece of the wire got stuck in the drawer with it. So the student loan thing is a nightmare. I'm busy trying to get paid for work that I've already done that people aren't paying me for, or they're underpaying me. You expect to get at least $200 or $180, and you receive $65. You're like, that's better than zero, but come on, man. And then it's like, maybe I should just forget the student loan and go back to school and become an MD and restart the clock on my loans and go work at a, rural health clinic like a normal doctor. God, like, for 10 years and get that paid. Like, but by the time I finish doing the requirements, I'd probably have to brush a couple grades up to 4.0s. I'd have to take the MCAT and then get into a school, move to that school, and then do another 4 years of med school, plus all those years of residency and fellowship. And then I'll be looking at 65. Like, I'll be looking at 65 with my loan. Like, I don't even know. I don't even know if I could borrow another 200,000. It becomes a level where I've gotten letters that says you borrowed the maximum. We're not going to help you anymore. I feel there's no direction. I'm asking God every day for help and guidance. And every day I feel like the only thing I can do is drink my water, drink my tea, take my supplements, and to start plowing through more paperwork. And if I feel like if I had a regular job that paid just under $20 an hour, I would be miserable and exhausted, and I'd be just wondering why I'm not making 65 plus an hour, like at least that, what I mean, $120 an hour. It's not an hour. It's divided by like 10 hours of work around the 1 hour appointment. Which puts it at approximately $12 an hour. So as far as the clinic and the income, my mind felt that my instinct said, do it works. And this guy in this ad is really bothering me. Let me shut this off. Do it works. The other thing is, these people that are telling me that I can't, I'm starting to believe them, and I'm not trying to believe them, but I feel like when I struggle, I say, oh, those people are right, I should give up. Oh, I should go work for somebody. Oh, I should do this. Oh, I should do that. Like, I'm kicking myself for having that financial advisor tell me to go to the repay program. If I didn't consolidate those one loans and do all these changes, I would have been just on an income-driven repayment program. But it is a nightmare. It's too rushed. The government should never have made a decision and said, in the end of August, it's expired. September, you're all in forbearance. October, as early as October 1st. So you basically have a month to get yourself together. Oh, as of October 1st, we're going to require your repayments. And then the companies are not capable of doing the amount of calculations that need to be done. And if they're letting their computers generate these bills, they're going to get paid. Their employees are going to get paid. Their supervisors are going to get paid. They probably have all kinds of grants and free money that they're getting to support this, problem. But are we all going to be living out in the street, eating out of dumpsters because we had our student loan payments auto debit or go to collection? I got to turn off my auto debit because if it was zero or whatever it was a month, that I kept trying to pay That's another thing. I kept trying to pay. If my payments were zero because I'm so poor, even with 20 hours a day of working, I was still at zero, guys. This is really sad. If you say you're a doctor and people say, I'm not going to help, or if you walk into the food pantry with a Columbia sportswear coat and some free purses you got off Facebook that look fancy, and some boots you wear because you're freaking injured, you could barely walk, and then you look like you're rich, and you're like, I'm not rich, we're washing our freaking clothes in the bathtub, guys. Washing our clothes. You hear that noise behind you? Our clothes dried at the dehumidifier. We got a clothing rack my partner bought, and these 2 other clothing racks that we hang up clothes on hangers. I got wash tub. I got a washboard. I got hand washing soaps. We got a semi-manual machine. It's just, the other one I was realizing that we were keeping it in the shower. I was like, oh, that sounds dangerous. I mean, that's the only thing we could do is put a pluggable appliance into the bathtub, into the shower. There was no bathtub at the garage. It's crazy. I know I'm not the only one. If you have these issues, put it in the comments. If you don't have these issues, put it in the comments. People will say that you are stupid for borrowing the money. When I borrowed the money, it was a lot less to go to school. And I borrowed the money, and I knew how much I was making, that $7, $8 an hour. At the daycare center, I knew how much I was making at the other jobs. And I thought, as a professional with a bachelor's and the graduate degree, that I can make at least twice what I was making the minimum wage, even if I had to work my way up. I saw a manageable way to pay off the principal balance. What I did not take into account, I had some subsidized and unsubsidized loans. I had some um, 0 interest or 3% interest. When Obama came, there was stuff that shot up to 7.8 in these different interests. And I had felt the original loans had a, non-variable interest rates. I was like, okay, 2.8%, okay, 0%, okay. Here and there, 7, 6.8, the grad plus loans were higher. And then I realized in the past year that the loans and stuff were on variable rate interest, and the low interest rates disappeared, and then I consolidated. It said it was going to take the average or something and add like a point or two or point something. It was going to add to the average, which is lame. Why don't you subtract from the average, jerks? So then they made my interest even higher because they're like, oh, you get to sign up for this other program. I should never, you guys, I should have left it. I should have left it as the regular income-driven repayment for both of them and not consolidated. It was the interest that was killing me. Peace, guys. I can't take it. I want to give up everything. And every time I say that, with tears in my eyes, I say, let go, let God. Because that's all I could do, right? Let go, let God.